Hello again, John King here. In this tutorial we're going to learn how to prepare a template for use with TurboFlex Pro Theme Master WordPress Edition. Now the template you want to prepare could either be a copy of the template used for your website, which would in turn ultimately make your blog, your WordPress blog, look exactly like your website, which is what everybody's after, right? Or you could go out on the internet and get a free template if you want, or maybe you already have some templates you want to use. But in either case, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be editing a template so you can import it into TurboFlex Pro Theme Master. It's not really hard to do. There's just a couple of tokens you got to add, but the tokens are necessary. So what I've done, I've gone out onto the internet and imported, or downloaded rather, a free template. I got to tell you, I forget where I got it from. I apologize, but there's so many free sites out there. I'm sure you'll have no problem finding the template that you want. The template I am going to be using here does not look like my site, but I could use the template for my site if I wanted to. But in this example, I just decided to use this one just for the heck of it. Alright, also notice that this is a Flash template. So when it loads, you can see all that Flash going on. I don't normally recommend Flash templates, but in this case, the Flash is really only located in the header area, whereas the rest of your template is still, rest of this template is still text and readable by the search engine. So the SEO component is still satisfactory, I suppose. The area where we're going to be placing widgets ultimately in WordPress is in this area and this area. You can also you can place widgets anywhere as long as the token is there, even horizontally. You may want to have widgets open horizontally next to each other in your WordPress blog. So in that case, you could like maybe put one of the tokens in the footer area of that and tell Theme Master to set it up so widgets open up in a side-by-side mode rather than a vertical mode the way they will be in the columns here. But anyway, I'm kind of getting out of the scope of this tutorial. So at this point I've downloaded my free template, and I put that free template, the whole folder of it, inside a special folder inside my computer. Alright, in this case I went to My Documents, and in My Documents I created a folder called Raw Theme Master Templates, and that's where I'm going to be putting all the templates that I use for my initial imports into TurboFlex Pro Theme Master. So I downloaded the whole folder of the free template, and this is what it is. And inside that folder you see all the files that it needs. Alright, now Theme Master needs all these files, and so does WordPress. Not necessarily to be in the WordPress folder on your site, but it needs to at least know about them. So when you do create this folder, make sure you bring all the files and folders that your template requires in order to function properly and display properly like it's doing here. Alright, so at this point I'm going to open TurboFlex Pro Theme Master. Then I'm going to go in the Tools menu, open the Template Tokens menu, and this gives you everything you need to prepare your templates for use with Theme Master. It gives you the blog template name you have to use, a description token, and all the other tokens that you need to place into your templates. At this point, I keep saying at this point, we have our menu open, and I told you about these files. What I did was create a copy of the index file in the template package, and I made a copy of it, pasted it back into the same folder, and then renamed it with this. All I had to do was copy the name of the blog template file, and then I renamed the copy of the index file with the new name, TFP blog template.html. If you want, for some reason, you can also use blog template.htm if you want. HTML and HTM are both acceptable extensions. Any other extension is not going to work with Theme Master. So once we've named our template, our file, we've created our template. We have the file that we want to work with. Open it up in your favorite web editor. Remember to use, when you're editing your template, please edit it in source view, not design view. These WYSIWYG editors these days are terrible. For some reason they haven't kept up with the rest of the world, and anytime you make an edit, they just explode your code and they just mess it all up for you. So do all your edits in source view, please. Avoid yourself a lot of hassles. Okay, so the first token we want to put in our source code is the description token. That is going to go into the description meta tag. I've already placed all my tokens in here, but I'm doing it again for you. So what I'm going to do is press the copy button and paste it into the description meta tag. Alright, that's a required token. Most of these are. And one other comment about the description meta tag. In most cases, the description meta tag will already be under the title tag. But if it's not, make sure it is. Just because TurboFlex Pro works with things in a certain way, and it prefers to have the description meta tag below the title tag in your source code. Alright, let's move on to the header token. We copy it here. And a good little trick is what I like to do is put my header token right under the body tag. That way, when TurboFlex Pro Theme Master generates all your WordPress theme files, it creates a header file, and all of this text will be in your theme file. A nice little package. So your header file will be all this text, and it will end with the body, and then the rest of your content starts at the beginning of your body. So the body tag would be the last item in your header file. It's technical, I know, and you can put your header token in other areas, I suppose, if you want, but that's what I recommend. Alright, let's move over to the Widget Zone 1 token. The Widget Zone 1 token and the Widget Zone 2 tokens are ultimately where WordPress will be placing your widgets when you start messing around with your widgets in your WordPress widget editor. So let's copy Widget Zone 1 token right there. And another little trick that I learned, in some WYSIWYG editors, you can click where you want the token to be, and don't save in your WYSIWYG editor. I'm not going to say it again, but one more time. Don't do any saving in this. It'll mess up your code. Alright, and don't paste your tokens in by any means in the WYSIWYG. That'll really mess you up. So anyway, put your cursor where you want the token to be, where you want your widgets to ultimately land, right? So put your cursor there, and it'll be blinking. Alright, and then go back into your source view and look for the blinking token, and there you have it. It pretty much lands right where you need it. Alright, right there. Now, one thing about the Widget Zone 1 token, the main content token, and the Widget Zone 2 token, make sure they're placed somewhere that makes sense. Inside of a container, a table cell, a div container, maybe between a couple of paragraph tags. Never put a token like in between some structural code of something. Always make sure it's inside a table cell or a div container. Never, somewhere that's in between the structure of the container. Make sure it's where you would normally put content anyway. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So moving on, let's get to our main content token, copy it, and I'm going to go find it easily right here. Click my cursor, look for the blinking caret right here, put my content token there. Alright, now let's look for the Widget Zone 2 token, copy it. Alright, and that's going to go here. Let's move this out of the way for a second. That's going to go here. Alright, and look for the blinking cursor again. Paste it here, And then the last one is our footer token. We're going to copy that, and then basically just go down to the footer somewhere in your code and find a good place for it. Now here is the text for our footer right there. So I'd kind of like the footer to be this whole table cell area right here. Now the footer tag doesn't necessarily have to be inside a table cell or something like that. It can be anywhere, because ultimately after Theme Master generates all your WordPress theme files, it's going to delete this tag anyway. So you could just pretty much put it anywhere. But you know, make it a nice chunk of text, because this is going to create it's going to create the footer of all the pages of your WordPress theme. So make sure you put it in a sensible spot. You know, that's all. All right, we've placed all of our tokens. Oh, one more little thing. Let me close this. Well, no, I'm not going to close just yet. All right, now there's going to be a lot of times where you want to put your make some of your widgets land in your footer, which makes sense. You make them go into a horizontal mode instead of a vertical mode next to each other. That's perfectly fine, and Theme Master has the capability of doing that. But just make sure that if you do that, number one, make sure the widget zone tag is still in between, you know, a proper opening and closing tags of a table cell or div container or whatever. And also make sure that the widget zone tag would come before the footer tag, like maybe this here. Now in this case, I wouldn't be putting a widget tag here because it's in between some table code that's probably not proper area. But just as an example, you would put your widget zone. If you were doing it in this case, you might want to put both of these tokens maybe like right here. You know, something like that. That way they're both together. And where did I put them? I can't even see it now. Alright, let's put them together. Okay, right together like that. That way they're both. That way you're meeting all the requirements. The widget zone token is inside a table cell, and the footer token is after the widget zone token. But I'm going to put this back the way I had it, pressing Control Z. Okay. All right. This little rule would also apply for the header tag. If you're going to put the widget zone across maybe the header area of your template, maybe have it going across the top somewhere, make sure the widget zone tag would come after your header tag, like maybe right there. Okay, like that. Okay, but you know, that's the only rule there. And also, like I said, make sure your widget zone is going to be somewhere where it's not breaking up a table or the structural code for you know, a table or a div tag or something. So at this point we have this saved. I'm going to close this. I'm going to do a final save on my template, and then we're going to import it. Do one last inspection, make sure everything's proper, and it looks like everything worked out here. There's no breaking up, no funkiness. So now the last thing we're going to do is see if we can import it into Theme Master. Go to your folder, make sure the main folder of that particular template is highlighted. Don't highlight the folder that you're putting all your template files into, or your downloaded templates into, but select and highlight the folder for that template alone. Hope that makes sense. And then hit OK, and then it should import properly into TurboFlex Pro. At this point, you are pretty much ready to continue working on your templates. Make sure you view the other tutorials to learn more about the various tools, and make sure you're browsing through the help file manual too until you get a really comfortable situation with TurboFlex Pro Theme Master. That would be the end of this tutorial. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.